Hello everybody and welcome back to HO Sodor Reviews, a series where I make poor financial decisions for slight YouTube gain, and today we're taking a look at
Toby.
Yes, that's right. After 9 months of me getting these models, we're finally taking a look at Toby and Henrietta. So, to start, let's take a look at Henrietta first, because there's not really much to say about her, and I just want to get her out of the way first and foremost. Alright, Henrietta. So, one quick glance at her and you can definitely tell that, yep, this is Henrietta, alright. Nothing too crazy here, you know. She looks scarily accurate to her model, you know. Even though Henrietta didn't really appear much in the model series and definitely didn't speak much, they really went above and beyond trying to make her look as good as possible. I gotta commend Bachmann for that. Now, of course, because this is based on her model and this was made before she reappeared in CGI properly, she doesn't have a face. That's a mod that I would really like to do to my Henrietta model at some point, but I don't really know how to go on about that because like these wires right here, these things right here, they block access to her face, so I can't just slip one in there, you know. So yeah, that is Henrietta. A very short and not all that interesting, but still a very sweet model. Now let's move on to the main attraction, Toby. And this is probably gonna get me some slack, but I actually think the Bachmann Toby is quite possibly the weakest model I have so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks like Toby. The face is great, you know, the cow catchers are nice. When you look at this model, it definitely looks like Toby. But there's two main gripes that bring this down from being great. Well, actually 3, but one of them's just sort of a nitpick. First of all, this right here, the blackness of like, in his windows and his, you know, doorways. It's very like, it looks very cheap and very tacky. Like, he's just a big brown box on wheels. It's very, very not good. It looks kind of cheap if I'm being honest. The second thing I'm not very much of a fan of is the bell. Now, I understand why they couldn't have made the bell a separate piece because, you know, that would easily fall off. And this stuff is for kids according to Bachmann, so they just, you know, put his bell on like this. And I understand why, but it just leaves these two ugly white pieces sticking out the sides of the bell. It looks very bad. I'm not a fan of that. And finally, the last thing I have a problem with is one that's probably the biggest detriment of them all. Oh, wait. Toby is incredibly slow. Like, look at my remote. The line is halfway through, and that's how fast he's going. I get it, like, Toby's a tram engine. He's not meant to go fast, but still. Oh, and, sorry, not only that, but, he's also extremely noisy when placed on the faster speeds. Like, extremely noisy. This just sounds like a swarm of bees. Like I'm telling you, this model of Toby does so much right, but it also does so much wrong. This is one of Bachmann's earlier models, so, you know, I'm not going to harp on it that badly. But still, these do bring Toby down a few pegs, and he is probably my least favorite model so far. But I still kind of like him. So there you go, folks. After 9 months of getting him, Toby finally got a review and a loop run. And while he's not the best, I do still kinda like him. And also, Toby's just a great character. So, they can never make me hate this guy. And now, for the finale, we're going to do a loop run. Haven't done one of those in a while, have I?